Everyone can have their seats. I call the meeting to order. MP Baldinelli has the floor, and he will read the amendment which he is proposing. So, MP Baldinelli.
Again, thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for my colleagues' indulgence. Again, this is my hope to find kind of somehow a solution to the issue that we're facing right now. So the motion that I had proposed, the friendly, I would hope it would be considered a friendly amendment, would be this: that the Standing Committee on Science and Research invite the Minister of Industry and the Minister of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Innovation to appear before the committee to discuss their mandates for no less than 2 hours each on or before December 11th, 2025.
So this is your amendment to the motion proposed by MP Noor Mohammed. MP Noor Mohammed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I thank my colleague opposite for his amendment. Here's what I would say: I would be entirely supportive of inviting Minister Solomon to come back to speak on his mandate. I would be entirely supportive, as I noted from my earlier.
Sorry for interrupting. Yes. Like I just need to tell Mr. MP Baldinelli about the amendment which he is proposing. So, as per the clerk, this is not an amendment. Can you please, it seems to be. I will ask the clerk to clarify.
No, I just wanted to say, usually an amendment amends the main motion, the text of the main motion, but the committee seems in an agreement to pursue this way. So I would guess that that's a new motion worded as an amendment. But if the committee wants to debate this motion, it's fine.
So, are you proposing an amendment to that motion, or?
Well, Madam Chair, in all fairness, to your earlier point, when the motion was originally tabled, it wasn't provided to us in a copy format, right? So I'm trying to find a solution to an indicated motion that was just spoken and not provided in text. So
if the members, everyone agrees, that's fine. We can proceed that way.
My hope that they would.
Does everyone agree with what MP Baldinelli is proposing, that we go ahead with it? It is up to the will of the committee members.
So just to clarify, are we treating? I'm happy to treat it as an amendment and work with Mr. Baldinelli and debate it, try to get to a good outcome. My understanding is that we're trying to land the plane of having Minister Joly appear, as well as now have Mr. Solomon appear again on mandate, both of which I think are reasonable things. I just want to make sure. I'm less concerned about the process we follow to get there, and more concerned about getting to the outcome. So, if it's easier to work with this as a new motion, great. If it's easier to work with this as an amendment, also great.
If members are okay, let's go ahead. So we have the wording from MP Baldinelli. And
okay, so then,
yes.
You were done? Okay, so yeah. So then, okay, so here's what I would say. So on principle, I think it's a great idea to have both appear on mandate. We would be happy to support, but would propose two amendments to that. One is that we have them appear for an hour each as opposed to 2 hours each, because that's going to chew up another 2 meetings. And also, I would suggest that we say best efforts before December 11th, but no later than February 5, because December 11th is less than a week and a half away. And I note that both ministers are at the G7 during the period of time following the 4th through I don't know how many days thereafter. And then I understand that one of the ministers may be traveling. So what I don't want to do is to put ourselves in a situation where we are disappointed and frustrated, but I do want us to push hard to get them here as early as possible. And I don't think that ad infinitum into the new year is an acceptable answer either. So if we can put reasonable guardrails around that, I think we could probably live with it.
MP Baldinelli?
Is there no opportunity to do meetings virtually, Madam Chair, once we're risen from the House? I mean, okay. During
so
COVID,
for that, I would like to. So the chair has to be in person. the chair cannot be virtual, but that's like all logistic issue, and it's Christmas holidays. I cannot say anything, and I'm also traveling out of country, so I really cannot say that during the holidays we can. And if the ministers would be available, it's Christmas time. We have to be mindful of that.
But if
everyone
a committee
plans things
but
ahead
with
of
all
time.
due respect, but if a committee put forward a 106.4 and I had the support of all members to call an emergency meeting, we could do that, correct? Well, I put that theory on table now.
So,
MP Noor Mohammed.
so I'm going to propose 2 amendments to my friend's motion, if I might, to change the language that says 2 hours each to 1 hour each, and to add to the date, to add before December 11th, if possible, but no later than February 5th.
You are proposing an amendment
To the sub-amendment. Correct.
So, yes, we have that. Any debate on that? Seeing none.
Can
MP Baldinelli.
need a few minutes to caucus with my team, and then we'll come back if I could.
Okay, so just to have a respect for our witnesses, we have witnesses for the second panel also. We have 2 witnesses who have been waiting since 11 o'clock here. So maybe we can request the witnesses that they can leave, because I think it's not appropriate that like 2 hours into it and we still keep the witnesses. So is it all right if I request, if this is going to go on, I think it's not a good idea to keep the witnesses being held here. Yes, MP Blanchet-Jonca.
Madame la Présidente, je propose d'ajourner le débat.
Actually, I propose that we adjourn the debate on the motion.
A motion to adjourn the debate. It's a non-debatable, and we will have to vote on that.
Mr.
We can go to question period. Second hour of witnesses.
So, yes. So we have a motion. It is a non-debatable motion. We have a motion for to adjourn the debate. I will ask the clerk to
Sorry.
please take the vote.
Point of order, Madam Chair. Are we adjourning debate on which? On the amendment, the sub-amendment, or the motion itself? Because we got 3, like we're stacked right now. We've got there's my motion, there's an amendment to my motion, an amendment to the amendment. So we are adjourning debate on which of those 3 elements?
Just give me a second. Just to clarify, I've checked with the clerk before we get into the vote. We have a motion to adjourn the debate because of the fact that the amendment which was accepted by Baldinelli, by all the committee members, everyone agreed, and now there is a sub-amendment to it. So this will adjourn debate on like the motion which was presented by MP Noor Mohammed, and then the amendment which was accepted, and then this some amendment which is on the floor. So we are going to vote for the adjournment of the debate. Please, the clerk will take the vote. Yes, please go. Yeah, so...
Mr. Noor Mohammed,
No.
Ms. McKelvey,
No.
Monsieur Rana,
No.
Monsieur Deschamps-Thériault,
No.
Mr. Baldinelli,
Yes.
Ms. De Ridder, Monsieur Ho,
Yes.
MP Ma,
Yes.
Mr. Mahal,
Yes.
Monsieur Blanchet-Jonca,
Oui.
5 yeas, 4 nays.
The debate is adjourned. MP Noor Mohammed.
Move to adjourn the meeting, please.
Okay, so we have a motion to adjourn the meeting. Is everyone in favor? Okay. We will have to take a vote on, because it's a non-debatable, we will vote on if the meeting can be adjourned.
Mr. No,
Yep.
Ms. McKelvey,
Yes.
Mr. Rana,
Yes.
Monsieur Deschamps-Thériault,
Oui.
Mr. Baldinelli,
No.
Mr. Ho,
No.
Mr. Ma,
No.
Mr. Mahal,
No.
Monsieur Blanchet-Jonca.
Non.
4 yeas, 5 nays. So, meeting can
Okay.
if you want, we can have the witnesses
Yeah.
and I'll suspend.
I will suspend the meeting so that the witnesses can come in and we will take the testimonies from everybody. So the meeting is suspended. We have two witnesses from the first panel, Dr. Arvind Gupta and Dr. Gail Murphy. We never released them, and they have been waiting. Sorry for all you had to go through since 11 o'clock. And we have three witnesses from the second panel, which is Canadian Nuclear Association, George Christidis, President and Chief Executive Officer, Cohor Inc., Joel Penoy, Chief AI Officer, and Electricity Canada, Francis Bradley, President and Chief Executive Officer. So we will hear from five witnesses, and Dr. Arvind Gupta appearing as an individual, professor from the Department of Computer Science, University of Toronto, and Dr. Gail Murphy from University of British Columbia. She is Vice President, Research and Innovation, joined by video conference. All the witnesses will have 5 minutes for their opening remarks. And sorry for all the delays. We sometimes have to deal with these procedures. So on behalf of the committee, I would like to apologize for your time. Please, we will start with Dr. Arvind Gupta. Please,
Point d'information, Madame la
Mr.
Présidente.
Gupta, you will have 5 minutes. Please go. Yes.
Oui.
Sorry, Mr.
Point of
Blanc.
order.
Juste clarifier, là,
Madam Chair, just to clarify, until when we can sit, how much time we will have per party for questions and so on, just to make sure we're respecting the logistical time that we have left.
We will hear from our witnesses, and then we will see what the resources are like and what it is. So we will start with Dr. Gupta for 5. Yes, MP Blanchet-Jonca.
juste comprendre, là, ils ont 5 minutes environ
Yeah,
maximum.
but just to understand, they have about 5 minutes each, but I'm trying to understand also to adjust the length of my own questions, how much time I will have afterwards to continue the sitting of the committee. Until when can we sit?
To see, because we have the question period also, we will hear from witnesses and then see where we are. And I will let you know after we hear from our witnesses what time we have. Okay? So please, without any delay, Dr. Gupta, go ahead. You will have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to the members of the committee for inviting me today. I am Arvind Gupta. I'm a professor of computer science at the University of Toronto. I was also a member of the AI Strategy Task Force that was convened by Minister Solomon. Canada is proudly the birthplace of deep learning, and we continue to be a world leader in the foundational techniques that define the artificial intelligence revolution. AI is a very fast-changing technology, and one thing we are certain about is that this technology will continue to evolve at a very rapid pace. Now, we know that AI has the potential to fundamentally transform our economy and our society, but it is less certain how this will happen. We must develop policies that allow us to incorporate the potential of AI while managing the many challenges that this technology brings to us. The rapid development of AI and the potential for significant disruptions call for Canada's AI strategy to be centered on ensuring that we stay at the forefront of AI. We must be a leader in developing the underlying foundational techniques of AI. We must develop the mechanisms to leverage this technology for the benefit of all Canadians, and we must ensure that the systems we develop are ethical, fair, and transparent. All Canadians must see that they have a place in the AI revolution, that they can garner the skills that allow them to navigate and emerge on the other side of this revolution better and stronger. I want to give you some of the common themes that we heard on the task force. First, it's important that the Canadian government identify priorities and direct resources to those priorities. Because the AI landscape is changing so quickly, and geopolitics is playing a bigger and bigger role in the adoption of AI, we cannot afford to take a peanut butter approach to policymaking. Government must build on our strengths, must ensure that AI is broadly diffused, and that Canadians see the benefit of this technology. Number two, research and talent are the bedrock of any national AI strategy. Because AI is evolving so quickly, Canada can only benefit if we stay at the forefront as an AI thought leader. We cannot be successful without building an expansive talent pool, trained to apply the latest AI techniques. We must take an inclusive approach to training, ensuring widespread understanding and appreciation of artificial intelligence. We must ensure the best and brightest from around the world are attracted to Canada, ready to contribute to Canada being an AI leader. There's widespread belief, and the media propagates the belief, that AI can only benefit the few and negatively impact the many. I do not believe that that is a valid way of seeing this technology. Done right, Canada and Canadians can all benefit from this new technology. So public policy should focus on ensuring that we have the instruments in place to address the changes that are coming from this technology. Perhaps no issue has gained more attention than the potential for AI to result in large-scale employment disruptions. We do not yet know the extent or the impact of AI on employment, but now is the time to make sure we develop training and skills programs to allow Canadians to better understand AI, understand the disruptions it may cause, and understand where the new opportunities may arise. Canadians must have confidence that their government is aware of these challenges. They must believe that business leaders are giving their teams and their employees necessary AI competencies. And governments must start thinking about the social safety nets that we may need if these disruptions are widespread. We must take a multidisciplinary, multi-sectoral approach to building new AI systems, because AI will impact across all scientific disciplines, across all economic sectors. It will impact the way we relate to each other and the way we do business. We must think about issues like privacy for healthcare as AI impacts the healthcare system, privacy in the way
If
we
you can
deal
please
with...
wind up.
One more second. The way we deal with government, education, and finance. And let me conclude by saying that this ethical use of AI is perhaps the most important issue that we must take on. How do we take this new technology on board and apply it in a way that everyone understands that it's being done in a fair and transparent manner? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Gupta. We will now proceed to Dr. Murphy for 5 minutes. Please go ahead, Dr. Murphy.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for inviting me to join you today. As you've heard, I'm Gail Murphy. I'm Vice President, Research and Innovation, and a Professor of Computer Science at the University of British Columbia. I currently serve as the Vice Chair of the Digital Research Alliance of Canada, which is a national, not-for-profit organization with the mandate to provide compute, data, and software for Canadian researchers. And I recently had the honor of serving as a member of the Government of Canada's AI Strategy Task Force. I'm joining you from the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Musqueam people, for centuries a place of learning and discovery. UBC is the second largest research university in Canada with nearly 80,000 students and more than 17,000 faculty and staff at campuses in Vancouver and Kelowna and sites throughout BC. Today, over 100 UBC faculty members and hundreds of students are focused on fundamental and applied AI research in the vibrant BC AI ecosystem, establishing and growing companies, integrating AI into the health system, and furthering critical industry sectors like the life sciences, critical minerals, and forestry. AI as a research field is moving at warp speed, with new discoveries every day. Keeping a pace is not only imperative, it's essential. Only 3 years ago, the power of large language models born from Canadian ingenuity became evident to the public. Already, those at the forefront of AI are thinking about how to move beyond the limitations of these models. We cannot rely on letting others invent the future of AI. We need to keep inventing it here in Canada with Canadian values. But we also need to do more to ensure the discoveries we make find their way into application in ways that benefit Canadians. Moving AI research into application is challenging, in part because of the many pathways by which AI can be used. One pathway is through the formation of AI-first companies, which place AI at the core of their strategy and operations. For example, Variational AI, a Vancouver-based company working with UBC researchers, is focused on providing a foundational model to speed up drug discovery. AI-first companies often require significant infrastructure to build the models on which they rely. Another pathway is when AI is embedded into products or services. For example, UBC researchers have shown how diagnosis in rural, remote, and Indigenous communities such as Haida Gwaii can be improved through the right combination of training, handheld ultrasound devices, cloud platforms, and AI. Making this pathway a reality requires support to bring AI experts together with domain experts. Yet another pathway is to develop AI solutions with critical points in the supply chain of different economic sectors. For instance, UBC professor Frank Wood has created the UBC spin-off Inverted AI, which is building predictive human behavior models for autonomous driving. Supporting these companies to be successful can require rethinking how to integrate Canadian companies into global trade supply chains. There's 4 key areas in which we can start to better support the continuum in these pathways. First, research. Canada can stay at the forefront of AI discovery by enhancing and expanding the AI Institute model. The institutes can be enhanced to serve as hubs that bring talent from universities, colleges, technical institutes, and industry together to address mission-driven dual-purpose challenges. The institute should be expanded to fully deploy world-class talent that is currently underutilized, including in BC. Second, focus. Canada should aim to focus and accelerate specific areas of global strength. Focus could be brought through missions or challenges posed to the AI institutes. Potential areas of focus that could broadly benefit Canadians and the Canadian economy are AI for health and AI for robotics. Third, AI supply chains. Canada should aim to globally lead in critical parts of the global AI supply chain for particular sectors. In selected areas, Canada can establish pre-competitive industrial research and development centers based on successful models in other countries for different kinds of technologies. These centers accelerate industry within the country, create new companies, and a highly trained workforce. Fourth, compute infrastructure. Canada lags its peers for AI research infrastructure on multiple rankings. To support discovery and application related to Canadians, large-scale sovereign compute with access to Canadian data is needed for both researchers and SMEs. The Digital Research Alliance of Canada is well positioned to lead on this infrastructure for Canada. I hope that the committee finds these contributions to its study helpful, and I thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. I look forward to addressing any questions you may have.
Thank you, Dr. Murphy, and we will now proceed to Mr. George Christidis, representing Canadian Nuclear Association. Please go ahead. You will have 5 minutes.
Thank you, and very much appreciate the opportunity to meet with you today. I was going to say good morning, but I'll say good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the Standing Committee. It's a privilege to appear before you today to speak on behalf of the Canadian Nuclear Association. For over 60 years, the CNA has been the voice of Canada's nuclear industry, and today we represent over 120 members from coast to coast, from world-leading utilities, key uranium mining companies, as well as the important Canadian supply chain based on CANDU technology that makes one of the world's leading nuclear technology ecosystem that employs over 89,000 Canadians directly and indirectly. We're pleased to be taking part in today's hearing, which is very important. The Canadian nuclear industry is a strategic asset that enables Canada's goals in terms of economic, energy security, innovation, as a means of creating jobs and investments that supports national and provincial goals. It is critical not just for energy, but for our economic competitiveness, long-term energy security, and environmental sustainable goals that nuclear be considered, nuclear technologies. This strength is rooted in our world-class domestic capabilities from our vast uranium reserves, robust end-to-end nuclear supply chain to our nuclear reactor technologies, R&D expertise, vital contributions to nuclear medicine, such as the production of isotopes that is key in fighting cancers and other illnesses. We are actively demonstrating this capability and capacity through highly successful refurbishments of Bruce and Darlington nuclear sites, which are $26 billion on time and on budget. There's also the planned refurbishment at Pickering, and construction is all the way for small modular reactors at Darlington in Ontario that are world leading. There's active planning now for large reactors in Ontario, as well as the inclusion of nuclear technologies in key provinces such as New Brunswick, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. And there's a huge opportunity in terms of new nuclear export opportunities globally that will create jobs in Canada and enhance our collective geopolitical capabilities. We applaud the recent federal government's inclusion of nuclear in key initiatives to support the development of this technology and the development of these projects across Canada. However, more will need to be done in order to meet very important goals. This includes how do we finance nuclear projects. It includes regulatory regimes that will all in the end feed to the possibility of enabling AI and data center capability in Canada. Continued government and private sector investments are key, as well as efficient regulatory regime to ensure the strategic sectors enables growth that will create critical jobs and investments in Canada. A renewed interest in nuclear energy is being observed across Canada and around the world, driven by imperatives such as energy security, geopolitical stability, as well as accelerating the electrification of industry, transport, heating, and meeting climate objectives. It is also foundational for consideration in terms of AI sector as it develops in Canada. Today, along with the need for more electricity and energy across Canada, the emerging growth of artificial intelligence and data centers requires significant increased need for more reliable energy that's non-emitting. Nuclear will play, or has to play, an important piece in that effort. Nuclear energy is key to the electrification of key sectors, as well as creating new opportunities in Canada. The rapid growth of artificial intelligence industry will add to the already unprecedented forecast for more energy across the board. And I have to stress this. Already without artificial intelligence and data center technology demands for more electricity, there's a tripling on each provincial grid in terms of meeting 20 by 50 goals. Already without data centers or AI, most provinces are seeing the tripling of demand by 2050. We estimate that modern artificial intelligence models and data centers that will increase further this demand that will be seen across the country. This is where nuclear generated electricity is key. Nuclear energy provides reliable, carbon-free baseload power that will enable artificial intelligence industry requirements. This is a means by which Canada can be an attractive destination to invest in this sector as well as in others. The nuclear sector creates high-paying skilled jobs, and this will be critical in any debate on how artificial intelligence and data centers impact employment and growth in terms of other sectors. The battle to host these new data centers is an economic and, in some say, national security discussion that will require significant electricity. That means needing more non-emitting, cost-effective energy to meet economic and environmental goals. Yet, I should be clear, the momentum behind Canada's nuclear expansion is not dependent on artificial intelligence boom. Our industry must and will continue to grow regardless, driven by our national commitment to electrification across our economy and the need to replace aging infrastructure and grow demand for clean, non-emitting power. The artificial intelligence imperative simply reinforces how important it is to avoid delays and make sure that the right support is in place to ensure the continued success of our industry, an enabler to other key sectors. With that, I thank you for the opportunity, Madam Chair, for the opportunity to speak to you today.
Thank you. And with that, now we will proceed to Madame Pino. Please go ahead. You will have 5 minutes for your opening statements.
Merci. Bonjour, Madame.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to come speak to you. I'm Joëlle Pinault, Director of AI, Chief AI Officer at Cohere Inc., and I'm also a professor at McGill University and core member of MILA.
Canada helped invent modern artificial intelligence. Our researchers lit the fuse for the deep learning revolution. and the Pan-Canadian AI strategy, CFAR Vector Mila Ami, turned this country into a global magnet for talent. Cohere is one of the direct products of that success. Our founders, Aidan Gomez, Nick Frost, Ivan Zhang, met in the AI ecosystem around the University of Toronto, working in the same community that produced many of today's breakthroughs. When they started Cohere in 2019, they faced a choice: follow the well-worn path south, or prove that a global AI company could be built and scaled in Canada. They chose Canada, and I decided to join Cohere earlier this year to further this leadership. Today, Cohere is proudly headquartered in Toronto with teams across the company, Montreal, Vancouver, as well as all over the world. That decision wasn't just patriotic. It was a response to a pattern we have seen for decades. Canada consistently produces era-defining innovations: batteries, insulin, sonar, and today deep learning. Our founders and the Canadian seed investors who continue to support us saw the same thing beginning to happen with AI. Cohere was founded in Canada in part to help break that cycle. Canada now has the chance to be a leading player in that race, exporting our technology instead of importing it. If we choose to move with speed and agility, we can narrow our productivity gap, keep talent here at home, and fully build on our early successes in AI. We're now at a watershed moment. AI has moved from academic curiosity to the decisive factor in national productivity, security, and economic sovereignty. Around the world, countries are no longer just competing firm to firm, they're competing nation to nation, mobilizing heads of state, strategic investors, and defense budgets to back their AI champions and lock in technology choices for decades. Dans ce contexte, Cohere est
In
présent.
this context, Cohere is the only fundamental model laboratory in Canada that is competitive on a global scale. We develop language models and AI agents specifically for businesses and governments, with an emphasis on privacy, security, multilingual capability, and sovereign deployment. What sets us apart from other multinational AI companies that provide technologies to the general public is that our solutions are tailor-made for organizations for whom security and privacy are essential. Cohere has become a global springboard for developing local talent and actively contributing to the AI research agenda. We are proof that Canadian research and expertise can be commercialized. Your study is based on 4 pillars, and I would like to briefly discuss each of them. First, with regard to advances in basic and applied research, to remain at the forefront, our universities and institutes need research funding, access to computing power, bilingual datasets, and structured bridges to industry so that researchers can transform innovations from their laboratories into products.
Centers and scale-ups. The single largest constraint we hear, and we ourselves feel, is infrastructure. We support an expanded national compute strategy, a shared purchasing consortium, and the creation of a national AI data fabric. Third, on the role of the federal government, the most powerful thing Ottawa can do now is to become the first and best customer of Canadian AI, modernizing procurement and shifting to a posture of true partnership where technologies tested first here are exported globally. Finally, on the protection of Canadian AI discoveries, Canada should prioritize continuing to train and retain the best and the brightest, helping its businesses scale by encouraging global investment and ensuring our allies are using our technologies with commercial diplomacy. Cohere stands ready to be Canada's national AI partner. We are proud of our roots, proud to be building our business on Canadian soil while expanding globally, and proud to be part of an ecosystem that still punches far above its weight. With deliberate federal leadership, we can ensure that the next chapter of AI is built, deployed, and owned here in Canada. Thank you. And I hope we have time for questions.
Thank you, Ms. Pino. Thanks a lot for coming. And now we will proceed to Mr. Bradley, representing Electricity Canada. He's President and Chief Executive Officer. Please go ahead, Mr. Bradley. You will have 5 minutes.
Merci beaucoup, puis merci
Thank
de
you very much. And thank you for inviting me today to give you our perspectives from Electricity Canada this afternoon. Yes, my name is Frances Bradley. I'm President and CEO of Electricity Canada.
to speak to the Science and Research Committee on the Study of Artificial Intelligence. Electricity Canada is the national voice of the electricity industry. Our members are the companies that generate, transmit, distribute electricity to customers right across the country from coast to coast to coast in every province and every territory. Our industry impacts all social, environmental, and economic facets of life. Whether it be keeping the lights on, driving down emissions in other sectors, or powering one of the largest economies in the world, Canadian electricity is foundation to it all. Electricity is essential to artificial intelligence. Without it, AI cannot be deployed at scale. A query tool such as ChatGPT can use 10 times more electricity than a traditional web search. To grow the AI economy and realize the potential of this new technology, we need power to support the data centers that enable AI. To put it in context, global electricity demand from data centers is projected to double by 2026, next year, reaching 1,000 terawatt hours next year. And that's enough to power Japan. In Canada, electricity demand is expected to at least double by 2050, driven by economic growth, by electrification, and growth in data centers. This will require our sector to build more generation, transmission, and distribution infrastructure in the next 25 years than we have in the previous several generations. To meet the challenge, Canada must change its regulatory and financing tools to enable this massive build-out. To achieve this, we have 4 key recommendations. First, we cannot scale up AI in data centers without growing our grids. Canada must eliminate the barriers to building critical electricity infrastructure. This can be achieved through meaningful regulatory and permitting reform so that projects can be approved within 2 years. For example, we welcome the government's efforts to streamline approvals, such as the creation of the Major Projects Office. Additionally, the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of Canada and the Government of Alberta, which will begin a path to the suspension of the implementation and management of the clean electricity regulations in that province, shows a path for better intergovernmental coordination. As we've said before, provincial electricity system operators are best positioned to make the decisions that ensure a reliable and affordable grid. Second, the government needs to facilitate investments in expanding electricity infrastructure. This includes implementing the Clean Electricity Investment Tax Credit, which we were pleased to see in the federal budget, and addressing critical funding gaps and barriers to investment, such as the Eiffel rules. Third, the government must include the electricity sector in AI conversations and policy design from the start. There is currently no representative from the electricity sector on the federal AI task force. We cannot have a successful AI strategy without the electricity sector. In short, there is no AI without kilowatts. Lastly, as we build out our infrastructure, we need to ensure that critical infrastructure is protected. The government should ensure that we are prepared to protect critical infrastructure and the new cyber threats that are posed by AI. This was evident in reports of cyber attacks using independent AI agents, such as Claude Code, to hack into a variety of organizations at a low cost and fast manner. Every new technology brings new challenges, and we need to be prepared for them. To conclude, significant growth in electricity demand will come as AI use continues to increase. Canada must be ready to meet the growth, and we must build for that future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. As we are at almost 1:45 and all the members have to go to the question period. So is it the will of the committee that we adjourn the meeting?
Yes.
Mr. MP Baldinelli?
Well, if we adjourn, what happens is then that is it.
That is it.
And these witnesses will not be asked to return again?
So there are two options. Either we adjourn the meeting, and then Wednesday we have the minister appearing before the committee. If we don't agree to adjourn, we suspend, and then we get back on Wednesday. But I'm not sure who will be available out of these witnesses, because it takes a lot of time to schedule those meetings. I am not sure whether if all the witnesses will be available.
Well, earlier we had discussed the possibility of putting forward a motion to add a day to this study and ensure that all the witnesses that are appearing here today, just those witnesses, be asked back to attend an additional meeting of this study.
For that, we will need a motion. 1 second. So the motion which we are studying on AI is said at least 4 meetings. So if you want to add a meeting, we will have to see when these witnesses are available. But now because it's we have to get all the members have to get to the question period. Yes. So
that would be my motion to all my colleagues to extend by 1 day and invite all these witnesses back, including the first hour, so that we can hear from them. Virtually or in person.
Yes. Just 1 second.
Maybe we can suspend and sort this out.
It's question period time. So if we suspend, everyone will leave. Witnesses will have to leave. So if we adjourn,
Let's put it to a vote. We don't need to suspend. I think we got majority here.
just 1 second. Can you please repeat the motion? What you are saying, MP Baltinelli? Then we will come to you.
To extend the AI hearings by 1 further meeting, and that meeting be dedicated to hearing from all of those witnesses that appeared today, so that they could fully not only provide their testimony, but actually have time to take questions and answers from the members, all members of this committee.
Okay, so we have a motion. So MP Rana.
Already had their testimony. If we have any questions, we can send those in writing, and we can get answers in writing instead of calling again and spending again resources.
I think the public deserves to know.
That was unusual to send questions. Like if there are some questions which are raised in a meeting, they can respond if they don't get an opportunity today, but we cannot send them the questions to respond. So MP Deschamps, sorry for the pronunciation, MP Deschamps-Terrier.
Proposer une motion pour suspendre les travaux.
Yes, I'd like to table a motion to suspend our meeting.
If the meeting is suspended, then we come back on Wednesday at 4:30 to start this meeting. And then we have the minister appearing before the committee. Minister for AI is scheduled to appear before the committee on Wednesday at 4:30. So if we suspend, that will be the case. MP Mahal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, in spirit of fairness to the witnesses and to the committee in general or in whole, I would agree with my colleague, MP Baldinelli, that we should have at least one more meeting on this so that the testimony that we heard from all the witnesses should be better utilized. Having written questions are not going to serve the purpose because there are so many questions that can arise at the same time. So it's always beneficial if we can have them live back. And I think that is the committee, the purpose of committee is only best served if we have another hearing on this same topic. Thank you.
Point d'information, Madame la Présidente.
Yes, I'd like some information. I understand that my colleague wants to adjourn the committee. That would mean that his colleague, the minister from government, will not appear. Is that what would happen? Because if we adjourn, that means
have the minister on Wednesday. But if we suspend, then we will not have the minister on Wednesday, and we will have to continue with this meeting. So we have a motion from MP Baldinelli to extend this study by one meeting. MP Deschamps, are you moving the motion to suspend the meeting?
En fait, je me suis révisé, donc en termes, je peux pas.
Actually, I don't think I'll request a suspension, but an adjournment rather. That's what I should have requested, an adjournment.
So we have a motion to adjourn the debate, like adjourn the meeting. Now we have, okay, 1 second, 1% at a time, please, no cross-talk. We have a motion to adjourn the meeting. So is everyone in favor to adjourn the meeting? Okay. Okay, so everyone is, sorry, no cross-talk, please. Like all the questions should be directed through the chair. We have to get back to the question period, so we need to decide ASAP what we need to do. So is everybody in favor to adjourn the meeting? No objections? The meeting is, I really want to thank the witnesses. I would really like to apologize for and appreciate the patience which you have shown. So the meeting is adjourned.